Hey, caught you just in the middle of a cup of tea there, Mick.
Coffee.
So, hello everybody, and yes, welcome to our first live streaming video Q&A, which is going to be quite exciting, really, because we're streaming onto four platforms. Well, three platforms, two YouTube channels, LinkedIn and Facebook. And yeah, Mick, somebody's texting you to tell you you're on the internet.
I'm on airplane mode.
Somebody's messaging you to say you're on the internet. I can see you. Hello, Brett. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Marie. I can see
Hello.
people coming in the chat there saying hello and stuff like that, which is really nice. And we've got some questions piling in as well.
Okay. You be
Now, one
quiz
of the good things
master.
was I said, when I set up the event on LinkedIn, I said to people, hey, do us a favor. If you've got any questions, put them here in advance. And we got a couple of people put some questions through, which was really good. Actually, Brett asked one about YouTube Shorts. And one of the things that we have been playing with regards to YouTube Shorts is how much impact they actually have on your channel. And the results have actually been quite good and quite amazing, really. You know, I think YouTube set up Shorts as a way to combat against TikTok and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, to answer your question from earlier, Brett, YouTube Shorts will help engagement. And from the experimenting we've done, basically, what we've found is that subscriber hits have gone up quicker, which has been really good, and your views have gone up really quick. That does have a reflection onto another question that we were asked about monetizing Shorts. Hello, everybody. All these highs coming in. This is really good. By the way, if anybody's never met Mick, my business partner, yeah, this is Mick. And I always describe us as a bit like Penn and Teller. Okay, because Mick is quite quiet, but when you get him engaged in one of his favorite topics, which is usually filming and editing, then basically you won't be able to shut him up. Isn't that right, Mick?
That's right.
You see, he doesn't say much, does he? Oh well, it's all right because I can say well, I speak enough for both of us. Some people are saying that the video quality isn't great. Who's who? Well, I'm Gareth, and that's
I'm Mick.
Mick. So yeah. So yes, but so basically, yeah. Going back to YouTube Shorts, we have been saying to some people, especially club members and stuff, start doing YouTube Shorts, even though you've got a long video, take pieces out of it and just use it as short. Yeah, because that'll be quite good for you. So another question we actually had in
Just on
was,
that, can I jump in, Gareth?
yeah, of course you can.
Just on that as well. Rather than just putting a short up, put some sort of link to your channel as well. So rather than just showing a short like in your description or like we have handles now in YouTube, don't we? Which takes you to your YouTube channel. So
Yeah,
put things in like that. So you'd always it's a bit like a call to action. You're always going back to you. So rather than going to the next short, we've got the option of finding you.
yeah. Apparently, I'm really blurry, and I'm just looking at the feed there, and I'm really blurry.
Yeah, you've come back in a bit.
Yeah,
You're a little bit better now.
my screen is pants. Thanks, Elaine. Very blurry. That's really weird, isn't it? I wonder why. Probably because I got about 9 million things open in front of me.
Very
And
possibly.
how short is a short? To answer that, Dexter, basically it's anything under 60 seconds. When you do it on your phone, if you go to YouTube Shorts on your phone, um, basically it's a case of you can choose 15 seconds or 60 seconds. And yes, Deborah, thank you. As a video expert, it's disconcerting that my feed isn't good. I wouldn't blame my camera. I would blame my internet.
Yeah.
So yes, it's being a computer person, you know all about that. You know that sometimes I think I've got too much going up and down. I don't know why I'm blurry. Maybe it'll clear up or whatever. Anyway, we're here to answer questions, not look at my beautiful Welsh face. Okay. What are you shaking your head for? Dear me. So we did have another question, which is really interesting from Paul Wright, was about monetizing video shorts. Now, essentially, when you monetize, you can, as of today, monetize video shorts if you sign up to the new Google agreement that they've put in place. And essentially, if I put myself big screen, because this is brand new as of today, if I put myself in big screen and I share my screen, now people might not see this very clearly because my screen isn't very clear. But essentially, I can turn myself off there. You see that, okay? Oops, yeah, you see that, okay? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can.
So basically, new ways to earn on YouTube. What they've done is they've got a new agreement that they've put in place, where if you are a part of the YouTube Partner Program, you can sign the new agreement, which basically will allow you to monetize shorts going forward. However, the credentials for becoming a YouTube partner are still 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 valid public watch hours in the past 12 months, or 10 million valid public short views in the last 90 days or 3 months, whichever. Okay, so still not as easy as what people think, but essentially it is doable if you start getting the views and stuff like that. So I hope that answers your question, Paul. So we've had loads of questions flying in. Go back to both of us. Let's see if I've cleared up at all. No, I haven't cleared up at all.
A little bit.
A little bit. But anyway,
just going by your screen, I'm surprised you've got a load of stuff open there on your tab.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 Google Chrome tabs up. I've got OBS. I got Restream going, all sorts. So I'm just gonna have to live with it for now. It was a better version when I was on Spotlight. Okay, so who wants to look at me? I'll put myself on Spotlight and put Mick in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Anyway, going back to the questions, because we're getting distracted. Brown dog. What? Sorry. So Elizabeth put a question up, which was, what would be an easy way to record a presentation for a different organization to put on their website? Well, do you want to try and answer that one, Mick? Easiest way to record a presentation. I mean, would that presentation include like a desktop PowerPoint kind of combination between you and the presentation on screen type thing? Because I think there's two ways to answer this. If you're still there, Elizabeth, would it be a combination of both a PowerPoint presentation plus the person who's presenting it, or would it just be the person to camera? I don't know. I don't need a Mac, Brett. I will never buy a Mac. Thank you very much. We'll wait for Elizabeth to get back to us on that, and if not, we'll just answer it from both directions.
Well, I can answer it from a live event.
Go for it.
Like a live presentation. So say, for example, you're in a hall in front of loads of people. You could have a camera filming you doing the presentation, and then you could record your PowerPoint later and then just edit it together. It's quite easy. And then just give it over to the company.
Right. Elizabeth just said, I think I'm simply expected to record it without no one else there, but there is a PowerPoint. So it would be just to camera person. Well, from my point of view, I mean, I'll let Mick do his bit too, Penna. I'd use my phone.
Yeah.
Use my phone. Make sure you got a good microphone.
Use your phone, tripod, nice steady shot.
Yeah, nice steady shot, tripod, microphone.
Yeah, you need an adapter clamp for your tripod for the phone.
Think about your background. At the end of the day, if you've not got a good set, then try and build a nice little set. And basically get yourself a little microphone that plugs in and go for it. One of the things about microphones, though, I will say is all phones are different, especially Brett's favorite, which is the iPhone, which has its own special port, the Lightning port, that basically, it's good fun trying to find it's good fun trying to find a microphone that works well on an iPhone. But we do have actually an equipment list that people can download. So I'll just put this into here. You can download the equipment list from our, why is that pasted that but not my equipment list? Bear with me. I've got so many links. Right, there we are. So there's the link to our free equipment list that you can download, and it's got all different types of microphones in there, and it also explains the different adapters between USB-C audio, 3.5-inch jack, and Lightning ports. So you might want to download that and have a little look. So Elizabeth, I would just go with your current setup and stuff, and basically use your phone, get your tripod out, and go for it. So what was the next question? Where were we?
Can I just elaborate a bit?
Yeah, it goes.
So edit wise, what I do is you could do a couple of things. You could have yourself talking small in the screen with the presentation. So you could do, like, say, top right, something like that, while you're talking, the presentation's going. Or you could just show yourself and then keep going to the presentation, in the edit. So there's no right and wrong. It's just how you sort of feel or how your client wants it to look as well.
Yeah, good stuff. So we just had a question come in because I'm trying to do two things at once here. I'm going to close that feed, and I can close that as well. Try and free up some room to see if I get less blurry. So Michelle Coombs, I've got a question for you. What kind of equipment would you need to get started, and would it cost a fortune? Well, part of that equipment list is in the chat. Have a look at that, Michelle. But in reality, kind of not as much as what you'd think, is it, Mick?
No, as a beginner, I just said use your phone.
Yeah.
We've all pretty much got a phone, quite decent cameras, well, very good cameras. Get a tripod for steady shots, clamp so it fits on the tripod. So, for example, I've got a little tripod here, and the clamp goes on, and then I put my phone on that because it won't go on otherwise. Then I would go microphone. They're all pretty cheap. Like I said, in the equipment list, I mean, we're not particularly pushing any brands. We're just sort of going mid-range, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sort of beginner mid-range. They're lead microphones, quite long lead, it's about 6 meters, so you can get quite away, some quite shots, so your wide shots, so you can come closer. And it's think about your lighting. What we encourage is natural light. Just use as much natural light as possible. If you're in an office like I've got here, I've got a big window here, so when it's daylight, but I've also got lights above. I've got my ring light, and I've got additional lights. If I just go that way, you can see my light there as well. So you just sort of build up slowly. So the important thing is you've got your phone already, so you've got your camera, nice steady shot, tripods, clamp. What's that about?
Clamps about £8. I think the tripods are around about 30, and microphones are around about 30 quid. So you can easily, for less than £100, get yourself up and running.
Yeah, and you can start without the mic as long as it's a nice quiet room and you just use your onboard mic. But to get that extra professionality, you need really a microphone.
Yeah, and I film here. My window's in front of me, and one of the things that I have to take into consideration is where the sun comes up, because the sun comes up there. So in your own environment, you wanna think, well, where's the sun come up? So for me, the morning, I can't film because I'll get a change of light. And if it's like partially cloudy, then the cloud goes in front of the sun, the light goes down, the cloud moves away, light goes back up, and you get the fade in and out. So I wait until after lunch, and I do my filming in the afternoon because I'm in shade. So it doesn't matter what clouds pass over the sun over there. It doesn't matter because I'm in shade permanently, but the light is still sufficient to light me up. At the moment, I am literally lighting myself even though I'm blurry, with my ring light in front of me, as you can see in my glasses. So I'm literally now. One of the things you have to take into consideration is if you do wear glasses, is that. And mine's quite high, so I can get away with it quite easily. But I tend to set everything up and then take my glasses off as a way of doing it. So I hope that answered your question. So we've got another one here. Deborah, is it worth videoing your video presentation, whatever, on Zoom so you can show your branded background? When you mean branded background, do you mean the kind of silhouette thing that you can put, the virtual background, and you can have all of your stuff like that? I'm assuming that's what she means there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, to answer that question, I think you've got to get that kind of thing right behind you, because it can look quite poor quality, and essentially, you can lose part of your face and bits appear, and somebody walks behind you and they appear in your shot and stuff. We've all seen it on Zoom. So what we kind of recommend is like kind of set up your own little home studio, maybe get a roller banner in or something like that. Now I'm actually sat in front of this nice clean wall, which it looks like. It's actually not. It's actually a roller banner. In reality, it's a 2 meter by 2 meter plain roller banner that's got nothing printed on it. But you set up your little corner of your studio, and essentially then you can film against stuff like this, potentially edit in stuff. So if I go full screen for me again, you can see I've got my logo there, not mirrored. And basically that's because I'm using like OBS, the product OBS, so which is free to download and use. And we're actually putting together a training course on this because it's really effective. But you can bring text in, and you can have it animated, and the video I did to promote this, I built in this. It took me half an hour, and then I just basically put it together, recorded it straight to that. So you might want to consider just a plain background rather than a blurry round your face kind of thing.
Just a plain wall as well. Don't have to be a special.
It could be a plain wall, yeah, if you've got a plain wall in a nice area. You could even dress it. I know, like for example, Brett, who's watching at the moment, he's got a TV behind him. He's got a board. He did a good video the other day where he actually put some writing on the board, which was funny, and then did a short saying, "Did anybody notice the writing on the board?" And it's double whammy that he made his video. He had a bit of fun with it, put a bit of personality into it, and then did a kind of reveal video about the background of the video. So which is really good. I thought it was very clever. So don't let him know, because it'll go to his head.
Yeah. So when I video, I clear stuff behind me and I use that back wall.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've also got the wall opposite the window as well. So
as well, yeah. Just depends on the lighting conditions. If it's not too bad, I use that back wall because it's kind of wider.
Yeah, and so it's kind of just like choosing the right environment. But I would prefer to have a realistic environment with stuff in the background than the blurriness, personally. And as you mentioned branding with OBS, you can actually, as you can see, I've got my logo there and all the rest of it, so that's not a problem. So yeah.
I mean, the important thing as well is the content as well, isn't it? It's what you're saying.
Yeah. So basically, got a few more questions. I got a comment here from Elaine. Says worked for Colombo. Interesting. I wonder what led to that. I'll have to read back on the comments now to find out, because I love Colombo. You can get it on Freevee. It's just in case, all seasons. Anyway, just one more thing. That's my Colombo impression.
Was it the Mac?
Was it the Mac? I don't know.
Mentioned
I
Mac.
just noticed Elizabeth has actually said, but there is a PowerPoint. So in that case, going back to Elizabeth's question about the presentation, so she's to record it when nobody else there, but there is a PowerPoint. Well, in that case, I would use something like Movavi for screen grab and record yourself on your phone while recording the screen at the same time to make it easier for yourself to edit. But you know, at the end of the day, that's something that if you wanted to have a chat with us, we can give you some tips on that as well a bit later. But yeah, just do the screen grab and run the presentation as you're talking, and then you can do things like you can when you finally edit it. What you can do is you can basically, let me just see. You can, oh, hang on, don't do that. I just need to, so what you can do is then you can have yourself, so say this is your presentation, then you can edit yourself into the top corner. This is me. Yeah. And you could do it that way. So I just need to go back to me.
Yeah, I mean, we do this as training, don't we? So we kind of,
yeah.
If you
yeah,
want
we have a particular course creating training course. So yeah, it's good. It makes life easier for people as well. So I've got a question here from Dexter. What's the best way to use video? So, well, this is a good one, actually. I like this one. Because a lot of time, whenever I talk about video, people immediately think like YouTube. Yeah. Whereas in reality, it's a medium. So you can use it cleverer. Is that a word? Cleverer? More clever? Anyway, I'm Welsh. English is a second language. It's not really. But you can use it cleverer by basically so you could create content, for example, for sending to potential customers. So if you did videos which you wouldn't put publicly facing, but you'd say, and you got an inquiry, hey, you know, I'm interested in this, that, and the other. What can you tell me about it? You know, or we'll have a one-to-one. You have a chat, yeah, and then basically afterwards you can turn around and you can say, well, here's a video that tells you more about it. So essentially, it's a bit, you can be more clever with video than you have to be, you know. So yeah, so anyway, I hope, yeah, it just think of video as a medium rather than as a just something you'd stick on YouTube, kittens falling off shelves and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people are inherently lazy, so they'd rather watch a video than read through a lot of writing. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Generally, most people.
Yeah.
So it's just an easy way of consuming it.
Yeah, it is.
You can do it while you're on train, or you know, if you're commuting, things like that.
Well, the phone is, you know, a lot of the people are doing it on their phones and stuff like that. I forgot we could do this actually, Mick. So here's one for you.
Hang on. Things like, just another thing. Things like frequently asked questions. So people like phone up a lot of companies that we've dealt with, and they waste a lot of time answering the same questions over and over and over. If you had a video answering those frequently asked questions, you'd save yourself loads of time in the long run. There's all sorts of applications.
There is all sorts of applications. Another good one going off what you're saying there is like support desks.
Yeah.
Where if they do video for the most common questions they get asked, rather than the support people being on the phone all the time, they basically can say, oh, look, I'll send you a video. Rather than talking them through something that will take 10 minutes to talk them through, they can send them a video and they can basically just solve the problem themselves.
Yeah, step-by-step guides. Like people have problems, so I'll film myself or like screen grab it and send it to them rather than trying to explain it. You can visually watch it and watch it at their leisure as well. Go back and repeat stuff if they haven't quite got it.
We do that now. We do that with our clients now. We do, right, you want to do this on YouTube? Okay, look, and then we do it and we send it to them. So I got a question from Daniel. And I forgot we could do this. Look, there's the question. What editing software would you recommend? Now I'll pass this over to you while I take a drink of water.
Okay. I'd say as a beginner, I'd start with what you get free. So if your PC, there's like the Windows editor. If your Mac, it's iMovie, and get used to stuff like that. It's fairly limited, but it's quite easy to use. If you get more into it and will get a bit more complex, there's like intermediate sort of softwares. There's one that we recommend actually through a lot of research. There's one that we use, or we recommend to people, is Movavi. And the reason we do that is because it's quite intuitive. You don't need to know all the back end stuff. You can sort of drag and drop things. There's a lot of templates. There's things already made for you, and you just like put it into your editing, and then you just change the text for yourself, change the branding, change the colours, and it's kind of already there for you. And it's quite powerful as well. And you don't need a massive machine to run it. And then if you're really into it, you can go all the way up to say something like Premiere, PC, or Final Cut Pro, Mac. There's all sorts of, I mean, if you come to it and you film on your phone, you could actually do it on your phone. If it's a straightforward top and tail, you know, cutting off the beginning, cutting off the end, add a bit of text. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah. So spell that, please. Was that Movavi, Dexter? Was that Movavi you wanted us to spell? I've just put a link in to Movavi in the chat if that's the one you're after.
M-O-V-A-V-I.
M-O-V-A-V-I. It's actually a play on file extensions .mov.avi, which are old file extensions from video. There we are. So basically, yeah, I got another good question here, which I liked, which was, and this one is a really good one from Helen Flint. Yeah, and I forgot about this. You could show. It's really good, isn't it? What would be a good way to get video testimonials from clients? Now, this is a really good question because video testimonials are massively, massively powerful, right? Because at the end of the day, it's straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. Let me just hide that. Now, what I tend to do is I tend to carry with me my microphone and my selfie stick. Okay. Now, my selfie stick and my microphone are in my pocket. And I was, for example, passing a client's place recently just for Christmas. And basically, I popped in to say hello. So I needed to see Sammy. And essentially, while I was there, I said, "Hey, Sammy, do us a favor. Would you give us a testimonial?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I got my selfie stick out. Now, the good thing is about my selfie stick, I keep forgetting that. I'm going to put myself bigger while I'm demonstrating this. So good thing is about my selfie stick is that basically it's also a tripod. Okay. So I carry this in my pocket. I put it down on the desk. I stuck my phone inside it like so. Yeah. And then it's even got a little light. Yeah. And then basically, obviously I made it straight and the rest of it, stuck the microphone in it, clipped it on her and said, "Just go for it. Say what you want to say, etc., etc." I went out of the way, kind of give her the gist of what I wanted to say about what we did for her. And then basically we had a testimonial. Came back, gave it to Mick, and he edited it, and we had ourselves a lovely little video testimonial. And for me, just having that bit of kit is really quite handy to do because it's amazing. People would be quite happy to give you testimonials especially if it's pretty much straight after you've done a good job for them, you know. So get video testimonials, carry literally selfie stick and microphone in your pocket or in your handbag, right? So you give me some jib for that. So should we move on to another question?
Yeah.
Right. So
can I just add a little bit to that?
Yeah, of course you can.
It's the same principle. Say, for example, you go to like a trade fair, something like that, and there's something you like, you want to do like a little review, or you just want to capture it yourself, or grab someone there and talk a bit more about the products. It's anything really, because you got it on you.
Yeah.
You can ask away.
It's in your
And
pocket.
like he says, it's very portable. It doesn't take up much room, even like a little bag over your shoulder. It's so much better than having to carry a tripod and like behind me.
Yeah.
It's so much easier, isn't it?
It certainly is. Sorry, I was reading the
Yeah.
questions. Sorry, I was reading the
And
questions.
you can't even get in it as well. Like you could hold your self stick out, and you could get a 2-shot with both of you in it. Just holding it out.
Yeah, exactly. Mick uses a gimbal.
Yeah, got a gimbal.
He's got. I can't use it. It doesn't like me. It does this something. It spins on its head like The Exorcist. It just doesn't play well for me. But I always go with my selfie stick. Now, Sam asked a question. She said, "Just want to check you can see my question because she froze." So I'm just trying to find the question quickly here. Right. I think this is it. I'd like to ask about how to make business promotional videos, please. Right. So, personally, I would look at this from several different angles. Are you making a video about yourself or your business rather than yourself? Yeah. And would it benefit you, or would it make more sense to make videos that answer questions answer the questions of the problems people experience that your business can solve? You see, you can have a great promo video with drone footage and made by Steven Spielberg, and it's all singing, all dancing. But in reality, would that have any marketing value? I sometimes see some promotional videos and I think to myself, yeah, it's a great video, but it's got absolutely zero engagement with regards to the problems that company solves. So I think sometimes it's a case of not thinking about a promotional video, but rather what kind of content will engage with people. Because remember, as I say, video is just a medium, but we only make content to help people and to engage with them. And if you make content that is helpful, then basically people are more likely to engage with you. So promotional videos are great, but at the end of the day, I think that helpful videos are better. Mick, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, kind of promotional video, as long as you've got some other videos there to back it up, like kind of saying, answer the question, the questions or answers, problems that you can solve, or your service, provide a service that no one else can do, or you do it better. I'd say as well, it's like Gareth said, you need some sort of call to action as well. You need a message. You can't just show it, and you need to grab the viewer in the first 8 seconds, really, as well. It needs to be, you need to get in there straight away, rather than like a slow shot coming over here. But people just so need to move on to the next thing, so you need to really grab the people as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no point making a video unless you've got a call to action.
Yeah,
you got to think to yourself before you make the video, what do I want people to do after they've watched this video? At the end of the day, we're doing this live stream, we're answering questions and stuff, but we're still speaking about things that we're doing. So there is little call to actions about like the courses that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing an editing course coming up, that will help people get the basics done. We've got our how to create content courses and stuff like that. So essentially, you make content to engage with people, but you engage with people by helping them with problems that they've got. So, yeah.
Just think about your own habits. Like if you see a video, you see the title, and think, oh yeah, that's great. You click on it, and if in the first 8 seconds it doesn't sound like it's an answer, you feel like you've been a bit cheated. Really, you've wasted your time.
Yeah.
So generally, you start off with an opening statement, and you think, actually, this is the right video for me, and you watch it. And I don't know about you, but it's best really to keep it quite short as well, so that's 60 to 90 seconds, something like that. Unless you're doing something you have to follow it all the way through, like a demonstration, obviously it's going to be longer.
Yeah.
But it needs to be short, sharp, to the point. As we always got taught, like filming, is you get in and you get out as quick as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, I've got an editing question here from Brett for you. Mick. Could you use the editing software to simply add individual slides in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would pretty much any of the editing software would have.
Yeah. So, for example, I do that. So we use PowerPoint, and you can export them out as JPEGs, and you can import them into editing software.
Yeah.
And then you just put it as the background, and you can put little fancy transitions on as well if if that's what you're into as well. Again, don't go overboard. Just keep it quite simple. But we recommend, instead of all the flying in and out and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a kid's doing it at primary school. Got the editing software, and it's like, wait, I got this. Let's use it.
Yeah. He clarified it by saying over the right shoulder, for example. Yes, you could. You could put images in and around you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's quite good if you actually plan the video in your head before you actually film it, and you're going to stick a still in, then you can point to it, and then know it's going to go there later.
Yeah, and frame yourself so you've got that space for it to go into.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a few more questions down here. I'm scrolling through them. Any tips to help make it easier when filming? Yeah, break it down. Break the whole thing down. Everybody thinks that they could just set up the camera and do a minute video straight to camera. You can't. You're better off breaking it into sections, and then having the cuts where you basically either go in or out or whichever, or even cut to an image and come back to yourself. But that way you can make the video process easier for you by doing it in bites rather than doing it in one big, long, huge take, or trying to, because inevitably what happens is people go, I'll do a 60-second video. And then they start doing it, and then they make a mistake, then they make a mistake, then they make a mistake, then they make a mistake. We have the rule of 6, which essentially is if after 6 times they still haven't got it right, and that's when we're working with clients, we do a different part of the video, because you can pretty much guarantee they've started to beat themselves up in their head. Oh God, why can't I get this right? Why can't I get this right? So we do a different part of the video. And basically then what happens is it clears all of the dust out of the last take, do another part, and then go again. But if you're trying to do it all in one take, you just get fed up. It becomes a chore, and you just put it in the bin.
Yeah. The other thing with that as well is your subject inside out, which is like the main body, but you might not be used to doing like an introduction or a call to action. It might be a bit alien to you. So you might do a few takes on them where you're in subject, you know inside out. The sort of secret really is knowing when to stop. Don't go on too much about it. Be quite succinct and to the point.
It's a discipline.
Yeah,
it's a real discipline. If you're using like a bullet point kind of strategy, then basically the discipline is knowing when to shut up and knowing when to move on.
Yeah. On a technical thing though with this question, I think just simple things like a lot of people sort of forget is your phone's generally in your pocket, you get it out, you get fingerprints all over. Just make sure you give it a wipe before you're filming. It makes it a bit blurred. So just wipe it often.
Put your phone on airplane mode.
Definitely.
Put the phone on mute. Yeah, and basically turn off any applications that bleep when they notify you, like your Outlook or whatever, because there's nothing worse than getting to the last sentence thinking, yes, I've done it, and your phone rings. Okay.
Yeah.
So
definitely airplane mode, because definitely airplane mode because you get things, but also as well screensaver, because you're not touching your phone for while you're setting up your shot, and then you're going in front of the camera. If you've got a screensaver that's like 30 seconds a minute and it goes off and it goes to sleep, you have to set it up again. So I always put mine on to 10 minutes when I'm filming, just so it gives you that time to set up your camera, compose yourself, do your take. There's no, like I said, there's no worse than you set up your shot, you just have to go and then the camera's shut down.
Yeah. So I got a comment here from Marie, which says, so it's best to do a video once the weather is calm, ? So basically, I'm assuming that's going back to when I was talking about the sun position. At the end of the day, if you wait until you're actually in the shady side of your house, office, or whatever, then essentially you won't need to worry about what the clouds and the weather are doing. But if the rain is beating off the window, then I recommend you wait until a nicer day, because it will disturb you and it will interrupt you. Even if you've got a microphone on, the microphone might not pick it up, but it will disturb you. Any tips?
Can I just add to that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Another technical thing: if you're out and about and it's windy, just sort of turn your back and sort of shield the wind from the wind, so your microphone on here won't be getting blown, because you'll have a sort of noise. So it's just simple things. Again, like the sun, if it's too sunny, it can cast harsh shadows. You could be like squinting. Just by repositioning yourself, you can, it's loads better.
That's quite good, actually, because you've just led us on to this next question from Celia, which is, any tips for producing video of myself in my phone, where to place the phone in terms of lighting and angle? And I think if you're outdoors, like you're just saying, the environment will dictate. So you kind of want to just go, well, the sun's over there, I don't want it in my eyes, I want to be slightly angled on and stuff like that. If you're indoors, create the environment that you want, and then put your phone in the right place to film that environment. The thing is, at the end of the day, you kind of want to act like your camera and go, what's that look like? What's that look like? Right, I like that. That looks good. If I put a plant there, then I can be... So act like your camera in setting up the environment, and then try and be consistent with it as well, because if you decide to set this corner of your office or your home up as your studio, be consistent with that, because otherwise you're constantly trying to reinvent the wheel and create new environments. And in reality, you can say, well, I've got a nice little seat there, I've got a little table. You can change things in the environment, rather than trying to work the environment around the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well is, it's like, I think what we're getting at as well is, where do you place the camera? So on your tripod, you kind of want to be sort of around about eye level. Depending on some phones, there's a bit like a parallax thing, so you might just come down slightly or go up slightly. Just, you'll see it from when you look through your screen. And flat on as well. So you don't want to be looking up and you don't want to be looking down. You want to be kind of flat on. Think like a newsreader. They're at that level, they're on your level rather than being above you looking down on you. So there's that to think about as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going through the questions.
Yeah, I mean, you can cheat an environment, because we've filmed loads of clients like filming kitchens and all sorts of stuff, but if you get a plain wall, no one else knows. They don't see either side of it. They just see what's on the screen, so you can like dress your set.
Yeah, exactly. So basically,
that's another thing, framing as well. It's like, this is a question quite a lot of people ask, is how what far do I come out in shot? Do I get full body? Do I go half, waist upwards to my head? Do I go close? And again, that kind of dictates your environment. If you've got quite a wide environment, you can come wider out. But we kind of like a bit of rule of thumb for business. It's like waist upwards, and that's really good, isn't it? Waist upwards.
Yeah, waist upwards. I mean,
yeah. If you type for space, there's nothing wrong with coming like sort of chest upwards to head.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you were networking and it's like that, it's like you're right up to their face. You're that close. But if you're sort of that way, it's like you're a bit further back, and it's like you're talking from a slight distance. If you're a full body, it's like a little end of the room. So you kind of think it like that.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So we're coming towards the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little talk about thumbnails, about the importance of them and stuff like that. A lot of people just stick their videos up on YouTube, and they invariably end up with YouTube choosing their thumbnail for them, which sometimes looks like this. Because YouTube has a nasty habit of catching you at the most inappropriate time, and making it like the one that you don't want. And people leave those thumbnails up, and it's very much a case of, oh my God, you see,
That's you.
oh,
I thought you were still doing it.
how rude. So basically, what we say is it doesn't take long, and there's several things you can use to create the thumbnails, which make life easier for you, really. I'll just very quickly go through why thumbnails are important. So thumbnails are important because they're the first thing people see, and it attracts them to watch the video. Yeah. Essentially, you want people to be lured in and attracted to your video, but you don't want to lie to them. Now, we've all been there where you've been on YouTube and you've gone on, you've seen the thumbnail, it tells you it's going to give you this, that, and the other. This video is really good, and basically it's not good. It's nothing like what the thumbnail is telling you. Yeah. So we have a quick look here for an example. It turned me off. I don't need me there. So we got here thumbnails on YouTube, and you've got a photoshopped hyena attacking a leopard while basically it's attacking an impala. You've got the obligatory really attractive girl and the bloke being accosted by her. It's usually cleavage, and you can guarantee that a lot of these things are really not going to be anything that you really want to watch, and they're not telling you what's going to be in them. So the different types that you have are the basic screenshot, where you basically just take a screenshot from your video and you put it in. Yeah. You have your nonsense screenshot, like this one here. You have basically your worded thumbnail, which is just far too wordy. And there's absolutely nothing that's appealing to me there. And then you have things like your combination. Hey, Brett, there's one of your videos. You have your combination of the image screen, the image taken from the video, and then text on top, which can be a lot more attractive. I personally think that it pays to have a person in your in your thumbnail, and not to basically lie, but create a little bit of intrigue. Text is good because it does attract people to come into your to look at your videos. Yeah. Now, essentially, there are several different tools out there that can help you create a good thumbnail. Yeah. The one that I would say is probably the best is essentially a thing called TubeBuddy. Okay. And TubeBuddy, I'm going to put this link into the chat here. TubeBuddy is free up until a certain point, but one of the free features is basically the ability to create a thumbnail. So you can see I've got TubeBuddy installed here, and I can create a thumbnail with TubeBuddy. YouTube gives me this one, or this one. And they are actually me pretty much gurning in the video. Yeah. So if I say create thumbnail, I can take a still frame from the video. So I can take a still from the video. I'll just skip forward. I'll pause it, and it gives me the ability to actually move myself frame by frame out of the gurning state to maybe something a bit more pleasant. I'm not worried about it at the moment. But once I've got the still that I want, then I can continue and I can add text. Okay. So in here, I can do text. Okay. Can't say that quickly after a few pints. And then I can add the layer, and you see then it's got the text there. Now in the text, I can change the font. I could change colors and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it there out of the way. It'll also allow me to put an image in. So I could put the logo for this channel, make it bigger, stick it on my head, save all of you looking at me. Okay. Now I can put a shape in, and I can also put emojis, frames, and I can go from a template that I've created. So essentially, that's better than that. Let's have that, and then we'll continue. Okay. Now, with the unpaid version, you can only use that. You can't download it. Okay. But you can then save and publish that, and then that would be the thumbnail that you would use. Okay. So that's TubeBuddy. And it's a really probably the most simplistic way. Can I just say that it is a feature that works on YouTube, and to be very honest with you, you should be uploading your videos to YouTube anyway, quite simply because Google own it. At the end of the day, Google own YouTube, so you should be sticking your videos on there anyway. So when you're doing it, if you've got the paid version, you could actually download the thumbnail there as well. If you didn't want to do the paid version and you wanted to create them yourself, then there are other products like Canva, which a lot of people like. And then one that I like and prefer to Canva, because it's only for graphic design, is actually a thing called Photor, F-O-T-O-R. I'll put the links in the chat as well in a bit. But with Photor, you can actually create your thumbnails. So here I created this one. It was about lighting. Get your lighting right. Too bright, just right, too dark. Yeah. A little bit of text and then some stills from the videos. So essentially, having a good thumbnail will actually help you get better results from the content that you're creating. And pretty much that is it. I don't want to dwell on it, but you can create them pretty much for free with a little bit of time for yourself. Do we have, if anybody has any questions on those, then feel free to get in touch with us, because I'm happy to have a chat with you. Happy to have a one-to-one where basically you can, we're quite happy to just have a chat about how you can get started creating your own video content and stuff like that. And we also have our Video Creators Club and the courses that we do. And I put this in the chat as well. So there's links to those as well. And I've just got a question. I'm on LinkedIn. Where are you posting the links? I'm posting them into the chat. I believe it's not. Oh, is it not going right? Okay, I see. So it's not going to the LinkedIn. This is we're using Restream, and it's pretty much this is our first live run out, really. So interesting. I think we worked this problem out before, didn't we? I'll put all of the links into the chat on the. Let me go here. I'll do this. So we got. Let's have a look very quickly. So there's Mavavi. There's TubeBuddy for you. Photo. Club and that, and then the equipment guide. Our equipment guide is the link for there is there, so they should all be there now. Yeah. That's interesting because the chat overlay didn't post into LinkedIn, but it did post into YouTube, etc. Okay, right, lesson learned. As I say, this is our kind of first run on using Restream. I'm still blurry, I see.
Not for me.
No, not for us. We can see each other properly. It's really weird. I wonder why I'll have to research that. But anyway. So yeah, essentially, if anybody's got any questions, then feel free to get in touch. We're happy to help. We are launching at the end of this week our Video Creators Club Plus. At the moment, Video Creator Club gives members access to the Creators Club meeting, a library of how to use video, and basically a discount off all of our courses. The Creators Club Plus will actually I'm not blurry now. How weird. The Video Creator Club Plus will be basically 1 hour's mentoring from us a month, access to the library of how to make video content, and also access to all of our courses. And we are going to be adding courses on a monthly basis. Currently, we have 5 courses available. So the Video Creators Plus is the full kit and caboodle. And we're also going to be doing a promotional offer of 1 month's free editing for 3 months.
No.
No?
You said 1 month.
1 month. No, 1 hour's free editing. No, don't hold me to that. No, 1 hour's free editing a month for 3 months. That's right. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking there.
Yeah.
We've just got Yvonne coming in. I think she's a bit late. We're about to wrap up, Yvonne. But to answer your question, how do you make promotional video for your business? Does it cost a lot? It can. If you were to get a production team in, then you are looking. Obviously, you're going to have to pay. If we were to come in and do it as a production for you, then yes, obviously we would have to charge our day rate and stuff like that. And we would basically. My first question would be, what do you want the video to do for you? But essentially, we actually kind of answered this earlier. But when we talk about promotional videos, at the end of the day, it's probably better to make videos that help people rather than videos about what you do, because you'll get more engagement from something which says, hey, this is how you solve that problem. This is how you solve that problem. I will say a little caveat on that, though. We have the 10 commandments of video marketing. And essentially, commandment number 4 is don't give too little because you'll annoy your audience. And commandment number 5 is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you tell me everything I need to know, I don't need you. So, yeah. So be careful. It's a bit of a gray area. But again, that's something that if anybody wants to have a chat with us, then feel free to get in touch. In fact, if I very quickly, I put my put the Zcal link in, and you can book an appointment with us, a one-to-one. Right, I need to do this on both LinkedIn and on, I don't know. So feel free to book a one-to-one with us. We're happy to have a chat. See, why does it? I post it on LinkedIn and it comes up here. I wonder, let's see where that goes. And that when I post in here, it goes to YouTube. Gonna have to learn that. We're gonna have to learn that. So yes, so essentially, if you feel free to book a one-to-one with us, we're quite happy to help.
Or even a 1-to-2.
You what?
A 1-to-2.
Or a 1-to-2, yeah. Thank you, Celia. Yeah, we're going now anyway. It's the end of the day. It's 5 o'clock nearly.
What do we do about people who ask questions and we haven't got round to them?
Well, if we'll go through it, and if we didn't get to your question, then we'll get back to you, and we'll help you as best as we can. Okay. And next time I won't be blurry. All right then. Cheers, Brett. Thank you, Celia. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
It's you had a 4-hour lunch, Yvonne. Very nice. That's all right, isn't it? Good Lord. You'd be there a while, wouldn't you? Right. Shall I press end?
Might as well. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Ta-da.